for people that are, just casually following the news, what you see is that North Korea is a huge threat. How much do you follow what's going on in North Korea? How much do we know what's going on inside North Korea?
Well, it's a dark state from the standpoint that they're cut off from the rest of the world, other than some small tie with China. Obviously, that's really the only state they deal with. Otherwise, we look at them from Homeland Security investigations. We look at them from their attempts to procure U.S. technology or weapon systems or other systems to augment their own defense. So they're always trying to advance their nuclear ambitions. We obviously have some of the best technology in the world, and they're trying to get it through their agents. So we're constantly investigating things related to that.
And then are you part of the group that like sort of tracks their missile movements and that sort of thing? Is your agency in charge of that or no?
No, thankfully no.
No.
Who
does that?
That would be, I would assume, military.
That's the military that does that. Yeah. So and does North Korea have a bunch of agents that are out there? Like, how does that work? They're like all over the world trying to get this stuff, or?
Well, it's not necessarily. I wouldn't say necessarily they're agents. It's not like secret agents. Not like, not like.
Is it like a Russian spy?
Yeah,
exactly.
Is
that what it's like? No.
Mostly procurement people trying to get things for them because they can't get them on the open market.
Right.
So they have allies or folks, like profiteers trying to get equipment for them.
Mostly work on their behalf.
Yeah, and most of them aren't necessarily government tied. Most of them are just people trying to make money because the system, it's so locked down. They can get a premium to get that stuff in there.
All right, in our day-to-day lives, we had the conversation about a week ago about shredding our documents. Can't everything pretty much be hacked at this point?
Well, yeah, hacking is not everything can be hacked, but if it's online, digital format, it's susceptible, no question.
Well, how does this Bitcoin thing work? So these guys that are hacking, what is it, HBO,
like HBO, yeah.
And they want $15 million or whatever they want, or else they're going to release the Game of Thrones episodes, the Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes. They're releasing personal information, and they want to be paid via Bitcoin. How's that not? Isn't that just a huge, ginormous electronic footprint? Can't we just catch them immediately when they do things like that?
It's because the darknet is difficult. You have to come into it somewhere, and you have to come out of it somewhere. The darknet, what makes it difficult is it's encrypted and it's hidden while it's in there, so it's difficult to see in there. But there are tools that we work on. I can't go into specifics, but there's always an input and output when you're dealing with that. There's human factor. So somebody's going to password, going to talk about things. So nothing is so secure that it's we can't get at it. So that's what I would say for the criminality side of the house. Yes, it's difficult. It's difficult to go after. That's why they use Bitcoin. Bitcoin's very secure as it relates to cyber currency. However, nothing is so
like
secure.
I read,
it can't
these
be touched.
maniacs are making. Somewhere I read they claim they're making $15 million a year, basically bribing people and saying, "Pay me, or else I'm going to release X."
Yeah.
And that's possible.
Well, law enforcement's always one step in a lot of ways because criminals have no rules. We have to follow rules.
Right.
So it's difficult. We have things we have to do to stay within the judicial proceedings and whatnot. But I would say is eventually we catch them. It just sometimes takes a while, but we get them.
Other people that you focus on, you told us during the break, are these kind of these pedophiles, these kids that these guys that go after kids, that sort of thing. How much of your work is involved with that? What are things that parents can do to protect their children?
A lot of our work is involved with that. We a good portion of our portfolio is involved with child exploitation, and that used to be just kiddie porn, traditional in the mail, if you would imagine. Right. We used to get for those of us that are old enough to remember, used to see that stuff. But now most of that stuff has moved online, and it's all digital. And it's very easy for people to do, and it's also very easy to victimize people. So what we see is not only
how do kids fall prey to it?
They're online unsupervised.
Is it simply just like being on Instagram or something? Like a pedophile will be on Instagram, something like that?
There are all forums or there's a plethora of them.
There's like message boards.
Do people still go in chat rooms in 2017?
Do those exist?
Yeah, they do.
Those are still around.
They are still around. Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is hidden on the darknet, and where the real kind of
real bad
deranged folks.
All right, I have to ask this question: are there air marshals? Come on,
And how can I spot one? I need
There
to know this for my next flight.
Yeah, they're within TSA and the Federal Air Marshal Service. It exists. It's there.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Why do you doubt that?
It's kind of a bit. I believe him that it exists. I'm
Because
just never.
Gates probably looks at every person on the
I
flight.
try
and
to.
tries
I go on a
spot
flight.
one.
Whenever I do, I try to pick out the air marshal.
Well, I flew last week, and we're supposed to fly armed, and you're not supposed to tell people. I mean, I try and you try and hide.
So
So
how
if
do you
you
get
fly
on?
armed, you have to go like through a different checkpoint. Obviously, you don't go through regular, or do you go through the regular security checkpoint? And you just have a badge that you show.
Yeah, no,
TSA?
there's a separate process for it.
Oh, okay.
A separate process for it. But then we're not. Obviously, you don't want everybody
So the
getting upset.
stewardesses and all them, they don't know that you're on the flight?
The flight crew knows.
The flight crew will know.
Yeah,
They'll
they
say
know.
CA3 or whatever.
Yeah,
it is,
they're aware.
special
Because
agent.
listen, the flight crew is in charge of that plane. They're
Yeah.
they're the ultimate authority, and we're not going to do anything. No agent's going to do anything without their consent.
Right.